Welcome in masculine. We are going to deep dive and dissect to see what is going on behind the scenes in your career, in your energy field, what emotions might be coming to the surface, and we want to target your highest self. So we'll do all of that throughout this reading. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Bobby, and I'm so excited to be here. Okay, the first card I'm going to pull is what energy is currently surrounding this reading so that we kind of know and let Spirit guide us in this reading. Okay, so Prudence, the 7 discs. What an interesting idea. Prudence. So 7 of discs. So I'm going to show you this card. If you're driving, don't look. But here we've got 7 pentacles. Pentacles always represents abundance. And Prudence is an interesting one. Let me see. I would say Prudence. Seven of discs. So the number 7 is pretty holy number. You are not prepared to work for what you want. Preferring a shortcut, a get-rich-quick scheme that seems good to be true is exactly that. These pipe dreams are preventing you from putting in the time of consistent effort needed to be successful. Did you hear that? So before I got on here, I pulled a Mudra card, and so it came out wholeness. So right now, you are in integration, union, and spiritual oneness. That's what you're moving into. And so Spirit is asking you to stop looking for instant gratification or the easy way out, because the easy way out that you're seeing isn't the easy way out. It's more work. More psychological work, more confusion, more just being lost. Okay, so I am imperfect and whole exactly as I am. So you are moving into wholeness. That means you really have to make intentional, sustainable moves moving forward. You may encounter financial problems and possible bankruptcy due to the bad investments or gambling. You are warned to be more prudent in the future. And if that is creating any kind of fear in your heart, in your mind, in your soul, good. You have to confront the darkness as a masculine. You are the one that regulates. So, like in a household, you're the one who comes in with regulation. And if this kind of energy is what you're resonating at, then we need to get that energy adjusted and regulated. So I'm going to pull another card to see if we can pull in your higher perspective, who you would be if you shift timelines. Okay, and then of course I'm going to pull, look at that, who you would be if you shift timelines. This is Dionysus. Dionysus. This is fantasy. Look. Can you imagine being that? That, you know what that is saying? It's saying that the universe, your source, would serve you. Like, it would work. Like you're probably somebody that you know you have pretty high potential and you know you're capable of so many things, but it's sort of putting you in paralysis. Like, what do I do with this? And so you seeking instant gratification or the easy way out is keeping you, because that's resistance. Like, you already know what you should do. You already know. But you're also just staring at it. It's like you're staring at your potential. You're like, that would be really cool. But how can I do it quicker? How can I go? So it's like you keep moving away from your path because you keep looking for the easy way out. But if you just stand fully in your wholeness and in your full power, the veil will lift and you'll see very clearly. Okay. The high priest. right? So I asked, what would you look like in your higher perspective? What would that timeline look like? Because currently you're on this lack timeline. We need to get you off of this timeline. And believe, miracles are in the works every moment of every day, every single infinite, boundless, through time and space. We just have to step into the quantum field. We have to make the commitment. The commitment is what gets you there. Because once you make the commitment to fully show up and target your energy, you start siphoning out what you don't want easily. Like let's say you commit to something and you're like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm reluctant. Doesn't feel that great. Doesn't feel like my joy. But unfortunately, you don't have a plan, right? You don't have a goal. So you're just going to step into it, and you get there and you're like, you do it for a while, still doesn't make sense, still doesn't feel good. You leave and you mark it off your list. You're no longer doing it. Now it's not cognitively cluttering up your mind, and now you're stepping into your wholeness. Now it's on to the next thing. That may not be the thing you want either, but each of those things that you don't want to do are leading you to the thing that you want to do. It's a massive quantum abyss of filtration that you're doing based on your past, because you're still vibrating at that frequency, especially with this energy, which is not real. Somebody told you you had to work really hard. So that's what you're doing when you're seeking instant, like, I know it's crazy, but that's the paradox. You think by seeking something quick and easy and fast is going to get you there quick and easy and faster. But actually it's a freaking black rabbit hole that you're falling in and can't find your way out. So you have to stand fully in your high priest. You have to stand fully in your legacy. Okay? Ecstasy. That's what that word is. Ecstasy. You got to find your ecstasy, whatever that looks like. I feel like you're maybe a pretty sensual being. You like touch. You like to be, you like feel. You like all those things. But those things have to be disciplined and harnessed. You have to harness them. That's how you have to harness your gifts. Harness your gifts. Okay, here we go. Let's check this out. Let's look at who you are. Who are you? Who are you? Think about that for a minute. See if this resonates with who you are. Okay. Let go. Feel the freedom of pleasure at its most divine. Reject the mundane. Pleasure comes when we tap into the subconscious, when the conscious and subconscious start to merge with each other and we get into alignments. We start to feel confident, right? You start to feel seen. You start to feel heard. You start to feel good, right? And now you're magnetically attracting everything you ever wanted, just effortlessly. Masculine energy, flow state, target state. So we have all felt at one time or another the feeling of completely and utterly letting go. A feeling of total elation, sweet freedom, and release. This is the free-flowing energy of the Greek god Dionysus. As one of the most misunderstood deities, so we could say that you feel misunderstood. Many believe being a follower of Dionysus means nonstop partying, but honoring Dionysus goes far deeper than that. I love that. That's really good. Dionysus is a liberator. Women and minorities of ancient time were restrained in society and not as free to grow and contribute to society as they are now. The idea of having no restrictions and total freedom appealed to them. This made Dionysus popular and his cults became powerful. Okay, so I'd like to say Spirit just sent me a message. Spirit's like, you are on the right track. You're doing all the right things. Don't get lost in instant gratification. Just remember, stay on the path, stay persistent, keep going. All of these little things that you're researching or looking into are, again, leading you to the ultimate position. So Spirit says, keep going. You're doing great. Don't let it exhaust you. Just be curious, fascinated, interested, right? That inner child. The kind of spirited activity is cathartic in nature. It allows change in body, mind, and spirit, birth, death, and rebirth, which allows a fresh and revitalized start. Dionysus is also the god of the theater, with a huge theater named after him on the slopes of the Acropolis. And so you might be an actor or an actress, right? Remember, I'm doing a masculine reading, but it pertains to everyone. Every walk of life carries the yin, the yang, the dark, the light, the masculine, the feminine. So you may be looking into acting, which I say, go for it. Go for that. Is, you would, right? And that's big. Maybe either you, if you're in it, go for that biggest role. Take that big step and that big leap. Do it. Just do it. That's all. That's what this is all about. Whatever that may be. Increasingly, our culture encourages either bringing on or totally obtaining from pleasures. We are either all work or all play. Those of us who feel weighted down by responsibilities experience no play. Perhaps you take your grades seriously and know your future depends on getting into college and choosing the right course of study. Perhaps you feel you have responsibility for friends, family, and members, and so never fully relax. Or you have a job where you work long hours with no relief. While these things are admirable, it is important to sometimes ease up on yourself and to have fun. Connecting with Dionysus' gift of pure release is profoundly relieving. You can achieve this by dancing, singing, play acting, or even doing something that you used to do when you were younger and feel too mature to do now, like swinging or playing on the playground. In fact, anything that takes you away from yourself and into pure fun just for a time can help you unwind and be more productive. And that's a good message too, because if you've been targeting your energy and cycling over and over and over, you have to step back to let the system drop. You have to let the storm balance itself. You have to let the storm reside. And take a deep breath and go do something fun. And then when you get back, you're relieved, you're recalibrated, you're re-regulated, and you're ready to jump back in. I have 4 sons, and one of my sons predominantly takes breaks during his activities. And I didn't actually realize that he did that. And I needed to conquer my garage. I needed to get stuff done in there. And he said, Mom, just take breaks. I was like, what do you mean take breaks? He goes, go out there, and when it gets too heavy, leave. When it gets too heavy, leave. I was like, okay, I'll try it. So I walked, the first moment I walked in my garage and looked around, it got too heavy, and I left and took a break. He said, not too long, just for a moment, you have to go back. I was like, okay. So I go back in there, and all of a sudden I can see what I want to do first, and I do it. Start doing it, and all of a sudden an overwhelming heaviness came in. And so I went back and I took a break. I was like, oh my gosh. Went back, started again, vitality, motion, heaviness. Took a break. And I was like, oh my gosh, this so works. So remember, take little breaks along the way and you will see miracles. Okay, so shadow side. Overindulging in activities that give us this high is not part of Dionysus' plan. Partying just for the sake of partying too hard is not healthy for anyone. There is a fine line between frenzied madness and true ecstasy with Dionysus' energy, and this should always be respected. Okay. So, right? So if you are someone that is seeking instant gratification and spending a lot of time at, parties, definitely pull that back and alchemize yourself. Don't worry about men or women coming into your life because they won't come at low frequencies. And if they do, they'll be toxic. There's no getting around it. Unless you happen to find a super golden nugget of energy that just swoops in. Because the only way that's going to happen is if that was some soul contract and you guys went through your trials and tribulations through multiple lifetimes. But that usually happens in high school is when that individual swoops in. But that individual will not swoop in until you have healed somewhat and taken responsibility somewhat. I mean, I even pulled the high priest upside down when I asked for your highest perspective. So that tells me that you are needing to step up into your wholeness. And this is something good that you can do. Notice the mudra on this card where you put your hands like this. And just set that in your lap and see what happens to your energy field. And watch the people around you if you happen to be in a room with people. Just do that mudra of wholeness and then see what happens. I always say be a mad scientist and experiment how you can pull in that energy, because everything is about energy. It's not about making it happen. It's about pulling in the energy, because that energy is what drives and circulates those forces for you. It's pretty cool. Everything is energy. There's nothing solid. Nothing stays the same. Everything moves. Okay. So when you speak openly and honestly, you won't have to make assumptions. The day you stop making assumptions, you will communicate clearly, cleanly, and achieve impeccability with your word. So this does tell me you need to be more impeccable with your word. If you say it, do it. Do not give guidance about something you are not embodying. No, thank you. If you're asking why people don't respect you, it's because you're not vibrating at the frequency of your deliverance, of your devotion. You lack devotion. You lack deliverance. Become whole. Merge yourself with your highest version. That is where you find impeccability. That's where you find respect. That's where you find wholeness. That's where you find the tribe, the partners, the career. That's where you find everything you've ever been looking for is in that state of wholeness. Authority. This is career, by the way. So clashes with your boss or challenge to your power will compel you to respond. Choose peaceful solutions if you can. Do not ever be defensive. Again, that's not coming from a state of wholeness. We do not defend. I'm not interested in defending myself against anybody for that. I do not ever defend myself ever for any reason. Never. If I'm questioned even just a teeny bit, no thank you. I am not ever trying to prove myself. Never. So stand fully in your authority. Roll the dice. It's time to put yourself out there. You are hiding your talents, and it's time to take a risk and step into the spotlight now. And that's right. So the first card was authority. Spirit is saying stand fully in your authority. Roll the dice. For me, roll the dice. I just imagined myself rolling in the mud, getting dirty, going to work in my pajamas, not brushing my hair, and still fully showing up as my authentic self. That visualization for me really got me out of my comfort zone and out of my perfectionism. I was like, I'm just going to do the dirty stuff. I'm just going to say the thing that needs to be said, right? Or whatever that is for you. Roll the dice. Take a chance. Life is risky, as Jim Rohn says. Opportunity is at your door right now. Doors are opening up for you. You have the chance to change jobs, start a business, or invest in a new venture. Just do it. Again, I want to reference the parable of the drowning man. You know, he prayed to God. He was in a flood, and he's sitting in his house, and his house is going underwater. And he prays to God. He's like, God, save me, right? And so God sends a boat and says, so the people in the boat are like, hey, jump in. We're going to take you to dry land. And he's like, no, God is going to save me. And so then another boat comes along and they're like, come on, we'll save you. And he's like, no, God is going to save me. And then a helicopter comes and throws him a ladder to climb up. And he's like, no, God is going to save me. And so the man drowns and he gets to heaven. And he asks God, God, why didn't you save me? And he's like, I sent all of the opportunities. I sent you 2 boats and a helicopter. Why didn't you get on them? So remember, say yes to everything. Once you get there, you may not want it. Great. At least you filtered that out, right? And now the energy knows you don't want that. And so the energy is not going to offer it to you anymore. They're going to open up new doors, offer you new ideas, offer you new opportunities, right? It's like when you play those games and different parts of the game unlocks once you've conquered one part of the game. That's what you're doing. That's what the game of life is. You gotta start playing the game. Once you start playing the game, it happens quick. It happens really fast. Once you start playing the game, you start shifting timelines like this. Your goal is to leapfrog onto the highest timeline that you have in this lifetime. And we don't know what that looks like, but in this lifetime, you have a timeline that's the highest that you can get to. And so you've got to keep conquering each part of the game in order to get there. So there you go. And I'm going to leave you with a frequency card. This is your frequency to focus on for the day. Earth. So get yourself grounded. It's time to get grounded. It's time to bask in the wholeness of who you are. Where'd that card go? There it is. The wholeness of who you are. You're stepping up to the plate. So great job. And it's my honor to be here. I love you. And we're all in this together. See you in the next video.